Hi everybody, good morning. Today is Fude Matsuri Day and I'm on my way to Kumano to celebrate brushes. I'm so excited. Pardon if I'm whispering, and the main reason why is because my accommodations right now, the walls are so thin that I can actually hear the other people on the other side of the wall. And it's around 6:45 in the morning, so I don't want to wake anybody up. Now, the reason why I'm so early is because I actually want to see the opening ceremonies of the Brush Festival. For all the years that I've been going, I've never seen it, so that's why I'm making it a little bit extra early today. By the way, my accommodations today, it's a hostel, but it's a much more leveled up kind of a hostel, and this is a 2-bedroom, so which is actually not bad. So right now it's a little bit messy. I haven't cleaned it yet, so I'm gonna put inserts a little bit later. So I really enjoyed this hotel. You know, it's spacious enough, and I'm actually located on the 5th floor, so it's not bad. It's very serviceable, and that's all that I need, especially that, like, you know, whenever I'm in Japan, I just need a place to sleep. The shower rooms are located on the 2nd floor, and it's shared. So I believe there are 5 bathroom stalls, and then there's also sinks, and of course there are, like, you know, toilets scattered around here, wherein it's actually, you know, not bad. I haven't had, like, you know, an experience wherein I waited for an extended period of time to use any of the facilities, so that's actually good in my book. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna finish up. Like, you know, I'm gonna put on my skincare, and then I'm gonna put on some of my sunscreen, and then we'll head out because I need to catch the 7:54 streetcar, which will bring me to Hiroshima Station, and from Hiroshima Station I need to catch the 8:11 train to get myself to Yano Station and again get onto the bus that will bring me to Kumano. So let's go together. Okay, we're now heading to the tram station, and what makes my Brush Festival, you know, celebration special this year is because I have my partner with me. That's Cholo, you guys. So it's our 19th year anniversary, right, Baba?
Yep.
Okay, so that's how long we've been together. So right now we are just walking the streets, and I think the station is just a few streets away. Okay, so we're making a pit stop at 7-Eleven because we are actually, like, you know, breakfast people, and we need to eat something this early. So I'm just gonna look for some hot coffee in a can and some bread. Okay, so we made it to the tram station, and the tram is arriving in a minute. Okay, so we're now in Hiroshima Station. It takes like around 30 minutes from where we are to get here. And by the way, this is so amazing because this is fairly new. The last few years that I've been coming here, the station was being, like, you know, refurbished and renovated. And now I understand why, because the streetcars finally make it here right into, like, you know, the main platforms or the main entryway of Hiroshima Station, because before I would need to go down to the 1st floor to access it. So here it is. Alright, and now what we're going to do is gonna head inside the station and we'll catch the train to Yano. So we have just exited Yano Station and now it's time to get to the bus stop. It's still a bit early, but it's better to be early than late, especially that sometimes, I don't know, if there are like delays or something. Okay, so let's head down. Okay, so I'm now at the Kumano bus depot and I am going to be taking another bus to get to Sakakiyama Shrine. It's still a little bit early, which is great. I love it. And it's quite cool today, so I also love that because it usually gets warm, you know, when I come here. But anywho, if you saw my vlog last year, if you just follow that road there, and go beyond that portion of the road, that's going to bring you to Kuyudo. So I'm gonna put a link down to my vlog last year so that you can see what I'm talking about, okay? Alright, so now I'm just gonna sit down here and wait for the next bus. Okay, so the bus has dropped us off at Nakamizo bus stop. And now, let's walk all the way to Sakakiyama Shrine. Now, this is the same route that I took last year. So, I'm gonna put, again, links down on the description box to that vlog so that you can just, see it if you're interested to know more in detail about how to get here to Fude Matsuri, okay? Alright, so the opening ceremony just finished. Unfortunately, it started raining, but that's okay. It's better than too hot or too sunny. So we're going to go up to Sakakiyama Shrine right now. Okay, so we made it to the top of the stairs and we're going to go to the main shrine to have some blessings. Okay, so this is the main shrine now of Sakakiyama, and they removed the tree mound there, which I guess is this one over here. There it is. Let me go to the front. So this huge tree used to be in front of the shrine here, but they had to chop it down because it was like, you know, at an odd angle, and that's why we have so much space in front of the temple grounds now. Okay, so we just came from Sakakiyama Jinja. It asked for blessings and all of that. So now we're going to be walking up to the Brush Museum. Okay, so we're near the Brush Museum now. My usual route is I actually walk all the way from one of the earlier bus stops to here because I prefer to come here first before going to the festival grounds, but this year it's quite different. So after going through the ceremony, we're gonna go up to the museum, check out what's new here, and then after that we'll go back down to the festival grounds again. Alright, so we're here at the brush market, and it seems like everything that's on display here was just the same as it was last year. Alright, and now we're heading downstairs and we'll be checking out the museum. I'm just gonna breeze through this with my partner, but I really want him to see this very big brush here in the middle of the room. Isn't it gorgeous? Alright, so this portion is my favorite display here in the museum because you can actually touch the different bristles of what they use in a brush. And then if we open this drawer here, it actually shows you the different types of how a brush actually writes depending on the type of hair. So what we have here is taka, which means bamboo, and it should be this one. So very interesting how it just delivers ink on the paper. And the next one here is called, what's this? I think this is goose or geese, which is this one. And look how it delivers ink. Okay, the next one, this is yama, which is goat, which is this one. And the last one is horse hair. So this is what it is, and look out how gorgeous the brush tip is of that brush. And then if you open the next drawer here, it's actually going to show you the different components and how you create a calligraphy brush, which almost essentially is the same as creating a makeup brush. And then the next drawer under this, I'll just going to open it. We'll actually show you the mold that is actually used to create a brush head for a makeup brush. Isn't that so interesting? So we have this a knife kind of a thing here that removes unwanted hair, and then you have a comma here, which is the mold, and then the bristles. Now in this portion, this is all about makeup. I love it. Different brushes for different uses for makeup, and we still have the 16 phases of makeup here, which I think is still old age. And I actually do love this. We have different types of acrylic here, wherein you can just put on top of each other, and it's going to give you either a blush or a lipstick, and it gives dimension to the initial acrylic that was laid here. And then if we add this, we have a nice butterfly type of a makeup design. And I think I'm gonna add some hair. So which one am I gonna use? I think the nice spiky white one would fit perfectly with the makeup look that we created on this acrylic. Alright, how cool is that? Kids absolutely love playing around in this portion of the museum. And then here we have a big board wherein you can actually play around with different types of calligraphy brushes. And each of the calligraphy brushes here have different bristle types, and then you can just wet them with water, and you can write on the board to see how it actually creates penmanship on paper. And then in one of the rooms here, some of the brush masters are actually creating a brush. So this is a live art kind of a thing, and I really love hanging out here sometimes when I'm in the brush museum. Alright, so I have not noticed that it's around lunchtime now. Now there's a cafe here in the museum which is fairly new, around 5 years, and I haven't eaten here yet. And since it's raining outside, we decided to have lunch here, and I have a nice set of breaded pork chop with some veggies and rice and soup. It looks delicious and it absolutely tastes wonderful. While my partner is having a soup of sorts, I forgot the name of it. It actually also tastes very nice and clean, and it was so hot that I actually burned my tongue. So let's eat, you guys. Itadakimasu! Alright, now it's time for us to head back to the festival grounds because it's time for some brush shopping. you guys, so I'm back at the Brush Museum. This was kind of sudden, and the main reason why is because I'm meeting Fude and one of my Instagram friends, Yasmin. And what we'll be doing is we'll be going to Mizuho from here. Now, I actually had to leave my partner at the festival grounds because, well, this is not his thing, and I also don't want him to be walking back and forth, like, feeling that he's out of place, if you know what I mean. So I just told him just relax a little bit at the festival grounds, like, watch the concert and watch a calligraphy performance, because that will be very enticing and very enriching. And I actually do want to go to the Mizuho store because it has been renovated and I haven't been there yet. Now that it's new, so I'm actually looking forward to it. And so right now I'm just waiting for Fudebobo, but I can actually see here in the background that there's something going on in front of the museum, because that used to be, like, the parking lot, but now I don't know, they're building something. So we'll see. There are a lot of changes that might happen here in the next few years. Good morning. So it's the day after the Brush Festival and I need to do a recap. And the main reason why is because I was not able to shoot anything after Fudebo will pick me up at the Brush Museum. So I'm doing this video just as I'm about to, pack up all of my stuff because we need to check out of our accommodations today. So by the way, I forgot to mention early in the video that where we're staying at, it's called Blank Hiroshima, and it's a nice, upscale hostel, and it's actually near a river. So that's why I'm here in the window right now, because from the window I could see, the river just here across me, and I could see some flowers there, and occasionally you'll see boats crisscrossing. Now I also forgot to mention that the hostel is near Takanobashi Shopping Street, so this is actually a perfect location because not only are there shops here, but there are also restaurants, so you won't get hungry whenever you are here. Now, speaking of restaurant, one of my most favorite restaurants in the area is called Brazil Cafe. It's been around for a really long time, and this is called a kisaten, or a Japanese cafe, wherein they actually open early in the morning and they actually serve breakfast, because a lot of cafes here in Japan, they open at around 10. So if you are somebody who needs breakfast, look for a kisaten near you and you'll be fine. Now, I also met my friend friend Polly, who actually lives here. We caught up a little bit because at this time I wasn't able to stay with her because of course I'm with my partner, and we also need our privacy. So we spent a good solid hour having breakfast before we actually went to Miyajima Island last Sunday. So it's always great to see a friend wherever I go in the world. And breakfast fare is very simple. You have toast, you have eggs, you have coffee, and you always have a salad. That's always part and parcel of having breakfast in a place like this here in Japan. So this is Brazil Cafe in Takanobashi Shopping Street. So also as I'm doing a wrap up of what I did at the festival grounds yesterday, I'm gonna be doing my skincare, just so that I'm doing two things at once. After Fude picked me up at the Brush Museum, we went straight to Mizuho, where Yam and Nok, both food enthusiasts were already there waiting for me. So I was actually an addition into their little group because my trip here was last minute, that I only informed Fude of me being in a brush festival so close to the date. And I also didn't want to impede in their plans, although Fude invited me to join them. I said I'm going to be traveling with my partner, so I'm going to be doing a lot of I'm my partner's tour guide for this trip, so that's why I didn't go with them. But when they saw me at the Brush Museum, they said why don't you come with us, because we're meeting Master Yoshiki after. So I was like, yes. So bless the heart of my partner, because he allowed me to leave him at the festival grounds while I actually went out with Fude and Yam and Nok to do these things. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity, because being in front of Master Yoshiki, being able to ask him questions about certain brushes, bristle types, things like that, and also just to interact with other brush enthusiasts. It's such a beautiful experience, and I have Fude to thank for that. So while I was at Kyoto, I was actually not shooting any materials, because I was not sure if we were allowed, because I'm just basing this off of my previous experience before of visiting these brush companies. They're very not secretive, but they're very protective of their business, and I didn't just want to randomly shoot there. And I would share with you guys some things that are prohibited from sharing. But if anything, I always ask permission first if I could take a picture of this, take a video of this, things like that. And that's also the case when I went to Mizuho. I was just able to take a video of their new shop, because I think they built a separate annex to house or to showcase their brushes, and I really love that, because I remember going in 2019. They only had their original shop on the side, which didn't have good lighting, which didn't look very open and very welcoming. So I'm actually so grateful that I was able to see that. And I'm congratulating Mizuho as well, because it's a very good looking studio. Yeah, so while I was busy going around different brush companies in the afternoon with Fude, my partner actually enjoyed his time being in the festival grounds, despite on how rainy it was. So he actually enjoyed the mini concert that he saw at the brush market, which was moved to the gymnasium yet again because of rain. And I also didn't shoot a lot of videos when I was there, because frankly everything that I saw in terms of makeup brushes and things like that, it was the same as last year. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, links to my previous visits to the brush festival are gonna be down in the description box, okay? And what else happened? Yeah, so because it was raining, there were no brushes festooned throughout the shrine, which is kind of sad. I wasn't really expecting so much rain yesterday, but alas, that is the case. Yeah, so I believe that it if my brain is still working because I'm actually, quite tired. And also one thing, by the way, I do apologize if I'm not uploading any vlogs, real time. And the main reason why is because my Wi-Fi provider, the one that I got, Sakura Mobile, it takes a while for them to upload, videos. Like even on Instagram stories, it takes a while for them to load. And just gauging off of that, I think it's gonna be very difficult for me to upload videos real time because vlogs here on YouTube can be quite heavy, and also I couldn't really do some voiceovers, things like that. So there it's just some technical issues that's just actually keeping me from being able to upload real time. And also another thing, I'm a little bit tired from all of the traveling that we've been doing. So when we arrived, we went straight to Kyoto, and the things that I was doing or the things that I also did last year. So I'm gonna put links down. Okay, hang on, because the hostel is right beside a fire station. So I think something's going on, but there's no fire though. For sure, I think this is just a normal routine thing that they do, because for the past 3 days that I have been here, I always hear that, but there's actually no need for cause of alarm. Okay, yeah. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I was in Kyoto for a few days, and the things that I did at this trip were the things that I did last year. And the main reason why is because my partner was actually very interested in seeing the things that I the places that I went to last year. So that's why I brought him yet again. So again, if you're interested, I'm gonna put links down on the description box so that you guys can see that for yourself. Okay, so the plan for today is we'll be heading to Osaka late in the afternoon, and today is actually day one of the makeup trade show called Cosme Week. So unfortunately, I couldn't make it to day one because for obvious reasons I'm here, and I actually can't rush from Hiroshima to Osaka to catch it, because that's just it's gonna make me so tired, especially that we have to check in our accommodations in Osaka, take the bullet train, be in the train for an hour and a half. So even if I try to make it early, I'm gonna lose half a day already. So that's the thing. So instead, what we'll be doing is we'll be spending a nice a slow day here in Hiroshima. So after we've checked out here, we'll go to the Peace Museum, and then after that we'll just spend a few hours walking around in the shopping areas, and then we'll hop on to the bullet train, and then we'll be in Osaka. So at this point, I'm gonna let you guys go because I really need to pack, and I also need to go have some breakfast. And if you guys have any more questions about the Brush Festival or anything about I showed you guys in this vlog, please let me know down in the comments box, and let's have a conversation about it. Okay, alright, so that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you're having a good day wherever you are. Bye.